Hey guys, Grumpy here with a Victoria 3 achievement run. We're going to be playing as Kafiristan and going for the man who would be king achievements. So Unify Afghanistan as Kafiristan under Josiah Harlan. I did have a really good Kafiristan game pop off. However, it's 1893 and the event never fired. So unfortunately, I'm just going to call that a loss and we will try again. So I'm recording this video to show off the beginning strategy that I used in that game. So as Kafiristan, you start as a tiny OPM. You don't even have enough grain to feed your people. So there's a lot of work that you need to do, and there's a lot of luck involved in this start, unfortunately. So the way I like to set up my nations, I just go down the list here. So we start with politics. You want to suppress your pro-slavery and abolitionist movement. Heading into government, you want to put the armed forces in. Then for laws, you want to pass local police force. Now, this doesn't matter unless you're playing the game long term, but you want to be passing some law. If war breaks out early, you immediately want to cancel that law regardless of its progress and try to pass professional army. I say try to. It's because you want to build up loyalty with your armed forces for their offense and defensive bonus. And then you have no institutions to manage. Next is your budget. Your budget doesn't matter. You're not really collecting taxes. All of your money is coming from minting, so don't worry about it. Same thing for consumption taxes, right? You're getting 15 credits or 15 pounds for liquor and 10 for wood. The only thing you need to worry about is military wages. Put that on very high. Once war breaks out, don't do it now. That's for the increased morale recovery. In fact, you can do that. You can lower your taxes to boost SOL. All right, and then you want no changes in your market. Don't worry about it. In buildings, you can't build from this screen, but in your province, what you want to do is you want to build 2 wheat farms, and then for your army, you want to build 4 soldiers. 4 soldiers. You don't have a power block to manage. Don't worry about it. And then diplomacy. Usually, Miyamana is friendly enough to you that you can send them a defensive pact with an obligation. If they don't accept it, then you can money transfer them. Okay, no, you can't. Okay, well, it's just a hope and a prayer then that they accept. I thought you could money transfer them. They don't want investment rights. Yep. All right, well, hopefully you get that. So we're going to send it off, 62% chance there. If they don't accept it, they do, it's fine. Hopefully they do. And then sometimes Chitrali is friendly enough with you that you can do the same thing. It's just barely not enough. And they don't want 100 ducats, and you can't send them 2. No. Oh well, shame. Do they want subventions or tariffs by any chance? Oh, we don't. Never mind. We don't produce any goods, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, and then technology. You want to focus on Napoleonic warfare, which will drag you through line infantry. And then that is that. So the last thing we need to do before we unpause is roll our generals. Now, because basically all of our money comes from minting, it doesn't matter if we go into negative bureaucracy. So what we're going to do is create new armies full of junk generals, and then we will end up firing these generals later on. No, you need to be in the new army. Yes. So we'll just end up firing these generals. When it comes to hiring, it doesn't matter who you hire, just as long as they're not armed forces. Because you will be deleting these generals later on. Here we don't have a choice. Because we will be deleting these generals later on, You don't want to hire too many armed forces because that's going to lower loyalty, and you need loyalty as high as possible so that you can. You're actually not bad. Um, you're not. You're not what we were looking for, but you're not bad. You want to keep your armed forces loyalty high so you maintain that bonus with them. Brave is morale loss and defensive. You're also not bad. All right. The purple army. That's where I'm banking the good generals. All right. Make sure we try to avoid armed forces when we can. And the general we're looking for are tactful. You're the same. Meticulous and mountain combat expert. Much better in the late game. The percentage bonuses, not so much in the early. Alright. This is the most fun. There we go. Cool. So we find our general, tactful woodlands expert. We would wish that he was a mountain expert, but that's okay. And I'm gonna keep going for a second tactful general. Defensive strategist. Okay. See if we can't find a tactful mountain expert. Just in general, another one. Just in general, I really wish there was some way to manipulate the traits of your generals, right? So if you built like a military school or like passed a law, or if there was just more emphasis put into the army system, that would be great. You're great for offense, but we don't need offense. All right. Go for one more tactical. Or tactful. Hey. Okay, we got 3 of the same guy. All tactful woodland expert, all landowners. Cool. Alright, so we have our boys that we need. The rest of these guys are trash, and we'll be slowly unwinding those troops. And I believe now we can begin. So let's go ahead and unpause. And now I want to talk about we didn't get our friendship. That's fine. That means Kunduz will likely attack us, so that's what we're preparing for anyway. So regional conflicts. In order to get this achievement, you need basically Herat, Kabul, and Kandahar, or about half of Kandahar, to form Afghanistan. These guys like to fight each other very early on, and usually whoever declares the war, Persia will join on the defender's side. So what the ideal scenario is, Kunduz never attacks us, which rarely happens, but Kunduz never attacks us. Kandahar declares on Kabul. Kabul is supported by Persia, and Kandahar gets absolutely folded. Meanwhile, when Kabul and Kandahar are fighting, we can backdoor them and we can take over these provinces. The AI likes to commit to the first war it's declared on and doesn't really give credence to our war. I don't know why, but they usually never turn around, which allows us to full occupy Kabul, or at least take over their capital, which causes them to be full annexed. Kandahar getting squashed by both Persia and Kabul lowers their troop count, which usually is enough for us to sweep in and take them over. And then from the troops that we secure from Kabul and Kandahar, that's usually enough to dominate Herat. So that's the most ideal scenario. Likely what's going to happen is we need to fight a war with Kunduz, and then we need to uh, declare war on Kabul, and then hopefully Persia doesn't declare for return core Herat or Kandahar, because we'll need to build up power and then eventually fight Persia itself, which is pretty easy once you get line infantry. But until then, you kind of have to balance your nation, and that's where the true challenge comes in, because you're very poor, you have very low literacy, and getting all of this territory is going to be a high turmoil. So, with that all that said, let's go ahead and unpause and see what we get. Yep. I don't know if you guys get double. Oh, Herat's friendly with us. Not too friendly though. I don't know if you guys get double notifications for declines, but I tend to get that. Okay, cool, perfect. Persia is going after Kalat. We don't need these territories, so that's great. That's going to distract them for a while. All right, we fire off corn laws because we have no corn to feed our people. All right. We immediately pass local police. Next up, we're going to go for... what can we pass? Freedom of conscience. Usually I pass freedom of conscience next while we wait for professional army, but I guess they don't care. Let's bring in the intelligentsia then. And we can try to pass... Let's try to pass tenant farmers. Why not? Oh, silly me. I forgot to apply our decrees. You want road maintenance and social mobility. That's unfortunate. We lost like 6 months of progress. That really speeds up your production. What is it, 10%? Yeah, it's 10%. It's not the end of the world, but that's not ideal. Perfect. So Kandahar and Kabul are going to war. Unfortunately, we don't have Miyamana in the pocket, so Kunduz is probably going to attack us at some point in the middle of this. But what we want to do is declare immediately. We want to declare neutrality. And then immediately declare on Kabul for full annexation. The war will fire off. These two will begin fighting each other. And then we can take over them. Alright. Mobilize our guys, put them on the front. And then we can go for a little trick here where we hire a bunch of horses, set these guys to rapid advance. And then we'll be able to take over this place very quickly. And then in this war, does Persia join? Yes, Persia joins on the side of Kabul, which, like I said before, usually they join on the defender side. All right. Okay, so we're getting close to war now. And what we want to do is cancel serfdom. It was nice while it lasted. Reform the government, put the armed forces in, and then go ahead and start passing professional army. We want to hire our horses for rapid advance, and then we want to fire our horses. If you keep your invisible horses, what ends up happening is you end up suffering input goods shortage, which saps all of your organization. So that's not good. You just need it to set them to rapid advance, and then as you can see, the orders disappear. So these magical men get converted into motorized infantry, and they end up sweeping all of Kabul. very quickly. So war is going to pop off in a second here, and we just want to make sure that Kabul and Kandahar are locked in, and that Kabul doesn't turn around and attack us. We just need their capital, so we're going to set it as a strategic objective. And then what they should do is they should eventually capitulate to us. So, like I mentioned before, they don't put any troops. They could easily split their army, but I guess because they have one general, they don't. But they're not going to turn around to attack us, usually. So we can do this pretty much uncontested. Yep, see, they have no one here. So there's no fight to be had. It's just going to be a series of battles where we take over their territory. And hopefully what we see here is Kandahar getting beat up, which they are. They're losing a bunch of men. They're losing on every front. You want nice long battles, because that'll drive up the wounded and dead. Okay. Our procession of junk generals follows the front line, which is hilarious. Alright, so we did our job. We're going to actually, no, we'll continue to take territory. Well, we could, this territory is going to become, well, will it? I was going to say it might become tumultuous anyway, but maybe if we don't touch it, it'll be fine. Quetta isn't really a good province. Like, we don't care about Quetta, do we? Kafiristan, though, has... Well, I guess they're about equal. Whatever. It's fine. We'll just take over another territory. And then from here, what we can do is we can lay off. Alright, from here, we can take ourselves off the front. Or we can set ourselves to defensive. Either way. We won't progress any further. Alright, we can crank up the speed. And this should cause them to eventually capitulate. These guys are still fighting. Let's just keep an eye on Kandahar's troops. Uh-oh. Kabul has a second army now. So they might turn around and attack us. I can't see Kandahar's troops though. Kandahar lost 2,000 troops. That's 2 regiments. They're currently fighting Persia and getting stomped, which is great. Now you want a slow roll professional army. You don't really care if it passes. It's going to, but you just want to take as long as possible. Okay, so they're fighting Persia then. I just want to keep an eye on this. I don't... You do have access to mercantilism, but I don't think I can trade with the world market. I don't think I have world market access. I'm like quadruple landlocked. Yeah, no, I don't. And I can't get transit rights until we conquer Baluchistan. Alright, we'll take the prestige here, because again, we want to slow roll this. Cool. And what'll happen is we will annex Kabul, which will invalidate this war. It's not like EU4 where you end up taking your or Sike 2 or 3 where you end up taking on previous wars declared. So now their war is just return Kandahar Bampur, which I don't believe we need to form Afghanistan. So we won't worry about that. And now what we want to do is immediately declare war on Kandahar. And we want to continue to press the advantage. You guys get out of here. You all stink. Yes, you guys stink. And I don't want to fire you because you are armed forces. We're just going to shunt you to a different army. You know what? You get your own army. Congratulations. Army of 1. Okay. Now we can merge you two. And we need to do a little bit of maintenance. So Kandahar starts with an insane amount of construction sectors. I have no idea why. Or Kabul. So we definitely want to destroy all of these to save our economy. And then we can fire our generals so that we get our money back. Now, unfortunately, I think we have too many. We can start retiring these commanders. I think we'll have too many generals left. We'll see. We'll have to keep too many generals for us to have less than 100% tax waste, but we'll see regardless if it's possible. All right, your armed forces. All right. What are you? Yep. Your armed forces, your armed forces, your armed forces. No, we're not going to have nearly enough. Which is a shame, but that's okay. We did go really deep for tactful officers, so we're kind of paying the price now in that we can't get our budget positive. Right, we still have 114 or 20 generals that we need to fire. I believe at loyalty. Yeah, it needs to be 8. So actually, maybe we could fire a bunch more. No home affairs. Yeah, I think we could fire a bunch more. Also, we could pass potentially National Guard. We need law enforcement. Okay. So we cannot. So we can fire a few of these guys and still have their loyalty maintained. I wish I knew where it stopped. What's their loyalty at? 15. And they need 8, so we can fire 7 more generals. We'll just fire 4. Still negative. Okay. But we'll just fire 4 and leave it at 10, so that way we have a buffer in case of we get like a random event or something. The more loyalty we stack, though, the more we can fire these generals. Having a negative balance, especially this early, is kind of devastating. We'll lose troops in the war, so that price should come down. But for right now, we're gonna be a little negative, which is no bueno. I'm gonna cut the hussars. Yeah, actually, I think that solves the issue. Nope, no, it doesn't. We still have grain. Regular infantry consumes grain. No, they don't. So where are we getting grain demand from? Oh, no, I guess they do. No, they don't. They're not consuming any grain. What do you mean? Subsistence farms, wheat farms, pop needs. Ah. Oh well. That's weird. Yeah, the rest of the factions kind of hate us now, which is good. We get stall chance for professional army. It's a good thing. That means professional army is going to be on the board longer. Okay, I don't know who's consuming grain, but if we could get rid of this, then I guess I don't know. I guess soldiers do need to eat, even though it doesn't say that they consume any resources, right? Like where it says upkeep per unit, small arms input. That makes sense. Hussars, I know they eat grain, and cannons they eat artillery. But I guess I don't know. I guess you gotta feed your troops sometimes. Shout out Napoleon. Let's go ahead and cancel these 5, and we will split off a new army and give them conscripts. Yes, confirm, and then we'll go ahead and raise those guys and put them on the front once they... Omen sides with Kandahar, that's a new one. I don't think they can reach us though, so we don't have to worry about that. We're putting these troops down here because they're going to be low morale, low organization, but it doesn't matter because they're not going to be contested on the front. So we want our strongest troops, which it looks like we can actually just punch through as soon as the war starts. We want our stronger troops on this front because that's where the battles are going to be happening. Omen joins on their side. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. No loyalty here. So we'll take the lower of the two. Alright. We have some teleporting. Oh no, they are split. Okay. That's fine. At least you're tactful. That's not great. We'll have to keep an eye on this, but we should be able to punch through immediately at the top here. They have no manpower left, whereas we're full. So this should be pretty lively. There's nothing else to declare for. Conquer state. Yeah, there's nothing else to declare for. Yeah, I don't think Oman can even get to the front. And even if they can, their troops are gonna have no organization. So I don't think there's anything to worry about. We want to make sure Persia doesn't join, but I don't think Persia will. All right. Okay. So what we're gonna do is set mill wages high temporarily. Hire a bunch of horses, because I think we're gonna be able to punch through immediately. So let's just do this. Is that enough? Yes. Switch over to rapid advance and then fire all of our horses. In fact, I'm going to take some of our better generals here, like Meticulous for offense and Mountain Combat Expert. And yes, I'm going to take you to Longbeard and Clean Shaven. And I'm going to toss you over here. And I'm going to turn you guys also into mechanized infantry once you get there. Hire your horses. Turn you guys into mechanized infantry or motorized infantry, and then fire our horses. So now what you should be able to do is launch several battles at once. They're not going to have enough generals to support this, so we should be able to quickly take over their territory. What is your capital? It is... Oh, Kandahar. Turns out the capital of Kandahar is Kandahar. So let's set a strategic objective for this. And just pray for these guys. They might get rolled in a little bit, but as they get more conscripts, they should be able to hold the fort. And then we'll see what goes on with that. Okay. So we're going to be able to push very quickly. And we should win just about every battle. Unless we blunder and panic retreat, which is great. But the good news is we have the manpower advantage. So even if we have sloppy fights, what should end up happening is we'll just deplete them completely, and then all of these will become victories. Unless the front unites, which means we need to just switch to regular advancement. Like this. Because rapid advance, unfortunately, has a very high casualty rate, so you don't want to be throwing your troops away as such. Okay. Alright, we get professional army, so we can't milk the loyalty. It'll start to degrade. Let's go ahead and push you guys onto that front. Nice. And we should be able to win this. Yeah. Oh, Oman did show up. But yeah, they were exiled, so they had no org. Alright. Kandahar should be should fall any second now, and then we can peace out. Well, Oman just leaves because they don't have any war goals. So last is Herat. Herat is untouched, so they do have their full troop strength. If we take a peek at their units, we can do it like this, I believe. If we take a peek at their units, they are 100% morale, and then I believe they also have 100% manpower. Yeah. So we're not going to be able to steamroll them like we did Kandahar. Which is fine, because we can take some time to do some nation developing. We can go ahead and delete that. We don't need it. And we can fire the rest of our generals that we don't need. Yes. And hopefully we see... Perfect. Yes, we can see the light now. We're going to be firing generals to get our bureaucracy back in order. Let's see. We need to lower our mill wages, and now we're positive. 300 interest. That's painful. Cool. So let's go ahead and actually we need to fire our horses. And then it looks like we can fire these men. Not fire this man, but disband the army. I'm going to keep you guys around. We'll disband you guys. And you guys are all armed forces, but none of you are particularly good. So we'll fire you next, but we need to keep our armed forces loyalty high enough. Right. And since we have a brave traditionalist, well, let's get rid of you guys. Since we have a army full of half-decent generals. What we're going to do is just transfer the units over. I need to find whoever's the weakest here. Probably the Ruthless guy. And we'll keep these troops over here. Yeah, Ruthless doesn't do anything. Alright, get out of here. Alright, let's go ahead and merge that. And now we have two separate armies. So we can use that against Herat. Alright, and then we can finish consolidating you guys. So we got to get rid of these last 7, but at least we're positive for now. Alright, let's go ahead and begin improving relations with Persia. And Punjab. And we can start getting defensive packs just to dissuade Kunduz from attacking us. We don't want to spend any manpower on any other wars. If possible. Nice. Alright, we're getting a little bit more loyalty, so let's go ahead and fire off some more generals. Improve our... I promoted you. I did not mean to do that. That's painful. Alright, let's stay at 10, so that way we can maintain that buffer. You might defensive pact. Okay, no, you didn't. That's fine. Alright, next law that we want to pass is going to be... where's it at? We want to get rid of serfdom. So let's see if, okay, it's just going to be homesteading. That's fine. We'll see if we can pass that. And Herat. Doesn't look like Herat is getting any weaker, but that's fine. Yeah, we'll go for racial segregation next. How are you guys building stuff without a construction sector? What? Maybe, yeah, that might have been queued up. Okay, so now we should just be accruing things in our investment pool. Alright, so we're looking for Herat to be declared on by Persia. Persia should be less likely to declare on us. Actually, I think we can trick Persia into liking us if we give them investment rates. Ooh, can you give me transit rates? Oh, how big is Herat? Yeah. I think we can launch an invasion. If we station our troops in Persia, I think we can launch an invasion into the backside of Herat. So let's try this. And mill access. Goods transfer. What do you want? No, what do you want to give me? You want to give me liquor? Yes. And wine. And luxury clothes. Still not enough. Alright, what about subvention and taxes? No, it doesn't look like it. Well, transit rights is more important because we need to be able to purchase guns than military access. So we'll just leave this like this. And we'll set them for 25 years. Alright. Sure, let's go for radicals, why not? Yes. Alright, cool. So we get line infantry. We're gonna take our specialized army here, and we're gonna shrink it down. By the way, let's go ahead and make sure we conscript up. We're just gonna shrink it down to 5 soldiers. I think we can afford 5 guns. Maybe. How much does a gun? How much does 1 gun cost? How much? How much one for 1 gun? Oh, what is it? Market. I guess I could check military. Small arms. These. Oh my tooltips are broken. I don't know why. Why can't I see? Alright, you know what? I know I can afford 1 gun, so let's make 1 unit here a line infantry and see how much it costs. Upgrade, yes. Alright, mobilization. You will cost 1 gun costs 105 ducats. Okay. We will not be able to afford that then. We'll go ahead and take that option. We're gonna tax opium, lower gov wages, and let's actually build we have a logging camp. Let's go ahead and build a paper mill in Kafiristan, and then we'll build some government admin, or actually we'll just convert. We'll convert this over to, what's it called? Buildings. Oh, it's here. Switch you over to filing cabinets once the paper mill is built. Alright. Okay, we're gonna have to fire a few more generals. We can merge you. We can go high wages to counteract low loyalty, but for right now we still have the bonus. All right, so let's go ahead and fire you. We're getting there. Any other consumption tax we can go for? Not really, not yet. We'll still. Oh, that's weird. What? Okay, high taxes then, sure. Sure. You're a jingoist. And no harm in that. That's really unfortunate. Because I wanted to be friendly with them. Alright, since we're gonna get a setback anyway if this goes down to 0, let's go ahead and try this. We get some approval there, which is nice. much are we spending? Oh, we need a trading center. Let's go ahead and build one in Kabulistan. I was like, we have subvention for guns, but we're not importing any. Yeah, because you need a place to build. Oh, that's a construction sector. You need a place to build. You need a place to import the things that you would like. We can piss off the Riots. And now we should be able to import guns. No, because we don't have merchant marines. You want to give me merchant marines? Goods transferred. You do, actually. Let's go here and see if we can throw merchant marines in the pile. Looks like we need to get rid of liquor and luxury goods. They likely won't accept, but we can try anyway. No, they didn't. Alright. That's fair. Alright, well, I think we're going to be able to take over Herat anyway. If we go for an annexed country, yeah, we should be fine. Yeah, our trading center is not going to work, is it? No, I mean, it's working. I just don't see how. Alright. Oh, we are starving our people. We're about to go positive on our balance, though, so we can cancel that. The guy with the gun, we can go ahead and fire you. You're gonna cost us too much once we mobilize this unit. Alright, homesteading is dead. We can try to pass tenant farmers. And we'll go ahead and declare war for all of Herat, which is the final territory we need to form Afghanistan. Yep. The issue, though, is I believe we have done this too quickly, like last time. We'll mobilize you as well. Can I station you? Did I not ask for military access? No, I asked for transit rights. Let's see if I can get mill access. No. You want to give me wine? Oh well. In that case, we'll just put you on the front as well. Alright, we get a market liberal, which is pretty cool. Fully on warfare. Awesome. And then we need empiricism to make sure that our guys aren't big dumb. And we can go ahead and begin. I'm gonna take, oh, sorry. I'm gonna take you guys off of the front, and I'm gonna switch you guys over to defensive to see if they attack in. Oh, that needs to be a regular infantry. They bite. That's perfect. This is our, remember, this is our tactful. Well, for the most part, they're tactful. Actually, I can make sure that I can guarantee that it's tactful. These are our tactful generals, so we should win this pretty handedly. Yep. Dug in defense, 17. And where's the other battle? Mud, which is not good. Oh, we're missing loyalty. I don't think I have anything that can pump their loyalty up. This gets us +2, but we need 8. And hiring a general, I don't think pumps up loyalty, right? No, that doesn't do anything. Okay, well, unfortunately, we're missing a 20% boost to defenses, but we're still doing just fine. Sure, we'll make the priesthood happy. They should attack in again. Nope, their generals are on defense, so we're gonna go ahead and counterattack. And we'll merge you guys, put you guys all on attack. Raise conscripts. We'll add you guys to the front as well and advance the front. Alright, so same thing as last time. We might not win every battle, but we're basically going to wear them down at every opportunity possible. So eventually their manpower will be depleted. No, I don't want to set back. We'll just take the 5% chance. And that should be all of Herat. Cool. So we have everything that we need now for Afghanistan. We're just waiting for the event to fire. This was the same situation that I was in last time, where I conquered all these territories and we were just waiting and waiting and waiting, and then it just never happened. Hopefully that's not the case this time. That would be very disappointing. Your next target, if you're going to continue this, is to conquer Kalat, Makran, and Sindh, so that you have access to... Oh, sorry, not Sindh. You do not want to border with the East Indian Company. They will immediately flip belligerent. But you want to take over this Baluchistan region, so that way you have access to water. And then you want to clean up your ports. When you finally fix your economy and everything is running well, then you want to upgrade your troops to line infantry, attack Persia, and conquer this region. Between Persia and your territories here, you should have enough strength to rival the Ottomans if they're not strong, right? If you roll and get lucky like a weak Ottoman, then you should be able to conquer them. Make sure you become friendly with Russia before you take Tabriz, because again, just like if you have a land border with the East India Company, Russia may become belligerent. The same thing if they annex their horde territories and you happen to control this land, they might become belligerent if they touch you. Yeah, other than that, I think that's everything. We went step by step. I showed off all the battles. It's pretty easy. You just need to take those opportunistic wars where possible, and then just make sure that you have the correct generals when you do those fights. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Other than that, Grumpy out. So this is a new save. Unfortunately, the event never fired. So I had to abandon my second attempt at the achievement. But now we got Josiah Harlan in this new campaign. I think there's a trigger or a condition that uh, the event can only fire if you remain in OPM. So you have to stay like that for a few years in order for it to appear. I think once you start seizing other territories, then it can't. Um, but anyway, I took over all the territory. Then the next step was to take Baluchistan, so we have access to ports, so we can start importing things and upgrading our army, etc., etc. But anyway, I just want to show off us forming Afghanistan and gaining the achievements. So let us click this button. And yet there is more land to reconquer, of course, because it never ends. And the achievement, the man who would be king. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. This achievement is a ton of fun. It can be frustrating though, but if you follow my advice, you should do all right. Just keep in mind you need those tactful generals, as well as knowing when to declare your wars. Anyway, other than that, Grumpy out.